Okay, about 2:10 and what I'm reading. If you're following along with our Perkei Avot, Rabbi Reuben's book that he reads from, I think this is 2:13. They each said three things. Rabbi Eliezer said, "Let the honor of your friend be as dear to you as your own, and be not easily provoked to anger, and repent one day before your death." He also said, "Warm yourself before the fire of the wise, the Hachamim, but would beware of being singed by their glowing coals, for their bite is the bite of a fox, and their sting is the sting of a scorpion, and their hiss is the hiss of a serpent, and all their words are like coals of fire." Some people read that do teshuva one day before the day you die, and take it quite literally. You know, well, the sages said it, so it's like words of the wise that we're supposed to adhere by, right? So I'm gonna live it up and do God only knows what horrible things until the day before I die, is what some people unfortunately think. But that is not correct. You're supposed to do teshuva today because you don't know when you're gonna die. I think there's less than 2 weeks till Rosh Hashanah, till New Year's Judgment Day. I can't find the source for who the students were. It was most likely Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, or Hyrcanos. It's the way it's usually spelled. It kind of like looks like a Greek name, which I don't think it is. It's just like how most people, most English speakers spell it. If you want to find it online, Hyrcanus, Hyrcanus. But I think it's spelled with a vav, with the dot at the top of the vav, so it's like an O sound. Because there's no in with a vav that I'm aware of. There's it can be like a V or a W or a U or a O. That's one intuitive thing that that I learned about the Nikud, the vowelization for the vav. And I think, I was thinking that, it might be like that for a lot of the other stuff. Like it's kind of like that for the, I think it's called the patak. It's like a little, looks like a kind of like a T with little knobs on the ends. But I was thinking, trying to remember like how all these dots and dashes made vowels. I was looking at the vav, and I thought, Hebrew and God is a lot of times are really like intuitive and logical language, and can be like deduced in a lot of ways. So I was thinking, it would make sense if the high sound of O was had the dagesh on the little dot on the top of the vav. The vav looks like just like a stick with a bent, like the top bent, kind of like 10 degrees or so off to the left. But I was thinking, it would make sense if the high sound, the dagesh, was at the top. I think that's what they're called. I'm not sure though. And it would make sense if the low sound, the oo, was with the dot lower. And what do you know? That's that's the way it is. But I was gonna try to go over last week's Torah portion again because there was just so much in it, like so many mitzvot listed, and besides that, each one is like these are. There was some parts of Bamidbar of numbers that are kind of like that, but most of Bamidbar of numbers is most of the Torah portions that are hard to hard for a lot of people, including myself, especially myself, to really get into and find a whole lot in but that's our job. We have to toil in it. The harder it is to find, the more we have to work. But Deuteronomy is much much simpler to understand for most people, and definitely for myself most of the time, because most of it's just like, don't do a whole bunch of stuff because it's not good for you and God said so. Like, you know what? I bet this is probably set to private. What do you know? I'm dumb.